In this video, we're going to be meeting Arlo the Author. Arlo the Author is the clever canine who helps us to identify how meaning is enhanced through choice of words and phrases. Arlo the Author can help you to spot examples of ambitious vocabulary and figurative language, such as similes and metaphors, within a text. Arlo can also help you to think about why an author has made specific vocabulary choices and how they help to give certain meaning to a text. Arlo the Author questions often look like this. What impression does the word or phrase give about? What does suggest about? And what does the word tell you about the character, setting, or atmosphere? Arlo questions are all about deciding why an author has made a specific choice when writing a text. Let's take a look at some example questions using an extract of text from a mythical story about a boy named Kintaro. Kintaro sat on the edge of the ring, engrossed by the action. When the animals had suggested a sumo competition, he wasn't expecting it to be this good. Although the bout between the deer and the fox had been a close, exciting match, nothing compared to the current battle. The boar and the bear were locked in the centre, their eyes on nothing but each other. As the only two remaining animals, this would determine the overall victor. The spectators cheered and whooped as the mighty beasts pushed and shoved. Arlo the Author wants to know what the phrase, "their eyes on nothing but each other," suggests about the way that the boar and the bear feel about the competition. This means that you are being asked to say why the author has chosen to write "their eyes on nothing but each other." What does it add to the text? For these types of questions, it might help you to imagine that you are in the story. If you were the boar or the bear in a sumo competition, why would you only be looking at your opponent and nothing else? For this question, you might answer that the phrase, "their eyes on nothing but each other," suggests that the boar and the bear feel as though the sumo competition is really important and that nothing else matters. Hoo-yah! Now let's take a look at some more Arlo the Author questions. In this question, you are being asked to tick the option that shows what impression the phrase "a slow, steady voice" gives you of the creature under the water in the new extract of text. Pause your video now and hit play when you have read through the new extract. Have you read the extract? Great. Let's take a look at the options. Do the words "a slow, steady voice" give you the impression that the creature under the water is big, calm, wise, or old? You'll need to think about why the author has used these words in particular. What do they want you to think about the creature under the water? If someone was to speak in a slow, steady voice to you, what would you think about them? Top tip, why not try speaking in a slow, steady voice in your head? Then think about what impression that voice might give to someone. Are people who speak in a slow and steady voice generally big, calm, wise, or old? Well done if you said calm. In this extract, the author is trying to give the impression that the creature under the water is calm. Hoo-yah! For our next question, you're going to be looking at an extract from later on in the text, after Kintaro has proven his strength in a variety of challenges. You are being asked to say what the words "they stopped in their tracks" suggests about how the soldiers felt when they saw Kintaro wrestling with a bear. Pause your video now and hit play again when you have read through the extract and have an answer. Do you have an answer? Great. Remember, these types of questions want you to think about why an author has chosen to use specific words. What do you think? Why would someone stop in their tracks when they saw Kintaro wrestling a bear? Top tip, this question has 2 answer lines, which shows you that you need to write more than a one-word answer. This question is subjective, so you may have a different answer to your friend. Subjective means based on your own ideas or opinions. Try imagining yourself in the story. Why would you have acted like that? One possible answer could be, they were amazed by what they could see. You might have also written something similar to, they were frightened by what they could see. If someone stops in their tracks when they see someone wrestling a bear, it could be because the sight is amazing or a bit frightening. Well done if you answered that question correctly. Hoo-yah! For our final question, you are being asked to say what impression the words "reluctantly refuse" give you about how Kintaro is feeling about his final decision. You may wish to say your answer out loud, or you may wish to write it down on a piece of paper or a whiteboard. Pause your video now and hit play when you have read through the new extract and thought of an answer. Do you have an answer? Great. Remember, these types of questions can be answered in different ways. This means that your answer may be different to the example one shown on the screen. This example answer says that the words reluctantly refused suggests that Kintaro wants to go and train as a warrior, but is worried about leaving his mother, so he says no, even though it's not the decision he wants to make. Well done if you were able to answer that question. If you're looking for any more videos just like this one, make sure you head to the Twinkl website to check them out. See you next time!